friends, how we doing? Also, if you're thinking it, I'll just say it. I may look or sound a little sick today, and it's because I am, but the show must go on. Now, I don't know about you, but one of the things I've noticed that seems to hold people back the most from living a life that is truly authentic to who they are and the things they want for themselves is a lack of confidence. And it's a lack of confidence in our capabilities to get where we want to be. It's a lack of confidence that we even deserve it sometimes, which is imposter syndrome, by the way. And it's a lack of confidence that others will approve of what we're doing. So we're going to address all those today because you deserve to feel confident about yourself, your dreams, and the things you're doing and want to do. So today we'll talk how to become more confident in minutes. And we'll use short-term and long-term strategies for feeling confident quickly and for building your confidence over time. And part of this involves tricking our brains. So it'll be really fun and like we're practicing magic today, also known as psychology. Anyway. And real quick before we dig in, for my new friends here, hi, I'm Julie Bethany, and I create content to empower you to live your best, most authentic life as the truest to you version of who you are. And I give you the tools and resources to do that here. And I should say, if we're not official friends yet, I'd love to keep hanging out with you, and we can do that if you subscribe to the show here and or come hang out with me where I'm most active, which is on the gram at Julie Bethany, where I share daily empowerment for you in even more bite-sized bits. All right, we're going to start with short-term strategies to be used in a pinch when a quick infusion of confidence is needed. For example, if you're about to give a really big pitch or a presentation or do some public speaking, which I personally love, but also realize tends to be people's number one fear over death even, the first thing to know is that your psychology or how your brain is functioning as a human being is directly connected to your physiology or how your body acts and reacts. And knowing that if we're feeling scared or like there's an imminent threat, like doing one of those aforementioned activities or whatever it is for you that you're nervous to do, our body will go into fight or flight mode automatically out of a natural protection instinct we have and will feel physically scared. So we need to kindly manipulate our bodies, and I know that sounds weird, but stay with me, to trigger that mind-body connection we naturally have to act differently. And one of the fastest ways to do that is to do the superhero pose, also known as the Superwoman or Wonder Woman pose. It looks like this if you're watching the show. And if you're tuning in, it's essentially where you stand up straight. And I've also seen people do this in their chair, so you could sit up straight too. Then put your fists on your hips and look slightly upward. It fakes confidence immediately in our bodies, which sends signals to our brains that we feel more confident. So we will feel more confident in that moment. It's wild. Another interesting psychological note here is that nervousness and excitement translate pretty similarly to how we feel in our bodies, and our brains interpret them differently. But some people swear by telling their brains they're excited when they feel nervous to help their minds adjust. Disclaimer, I've never personally really used this, so try that one out and let me know what you think or share with us in the comments if you tried it and what your result was. But I've heard it enough times that there's got to be some truth to it. Finally, in the words of Tony Robbins, motion creates emotion. And when we're feeling a negative emotion, doing something as short and sweet as a few jumping jacks, for example, I'm not going to demonstrate that one, can help kick out the negative emotion to help us feel more positive and therefore more confident when we're feeling the opposite. And at his seminars, which I've attended, Tony Robbins also does this motion where he puts his arms bent in the air with fists and pulls down, literally like doing pull-ups in the air with both arms, while releasing air in short spurts from his mouth every time he pulls down. It's cool. And I guess I do have one more short-term confidence tip too, which is to take some deep breaths. Because when you're nervous, you're likely taking pretty shallow breaths. So breathing deeply helps, again, physiologically change what you're experiencing psychologically in that moment due to the cues you're sending to your brain. Okay, let's talk long-term confidence strategies. This is what you can do to feel more confident about yourself and your capabilities over time. The first thing I recommend for building confidence is looking at what I call your personal achievement track record. Oftentimes, we don't feel confident when we're trying something new or even before we attempt it, and therefore, sadly, sometimes don't even attempt what we want to do. The problem here is your brain is looking for evidence in order to predict outcomes because you're smart and that's a smart thing to do. But when you don't have evidence that you've succeeded in something, your brain will put out caution signals to let you know that it doesn't have evidence yet that this thing you want to try is going to work, which creates that feeling of imposter syndrome. But instead of letting that convince you that you shouldn't try, you're going to give it different evidence to apply to this thing you want to do so that it feels more comfortable and you therefore feel more confident to pursue it. So look at your personal achievement track record. What have you achieved and how can you apply it to this new thing you want to do? Even if you consistently flossed your teeth for the past 30 days, for example, you can use that to remind your brain that you're the type of person who is consistent and therefore can consistently do anything. Therefore, you can produce content consistently. You can show up on time consistently. You can show up at the gym consistently. You can do it because it's not about the thing you want to do. It's about the trait you have. And we may have tried and failed at the exact thing we want to do, but that's when we look to identity. And you use that same concept and you define yourself. You can tell yourself, I'm the type of person who, and fill in the blank. And this works in many ways. I'm the type of person who nourishes my body with healthy food. I'm the type of person who gives great presentations. I'm the type of person who builds my savings and investments. And you can cut it shorter too and use I am statements like, I am good with money. I am a high achiever. I am a confident person. Or even, I'm not a procrastinator, lazy, ugly, whatever you want. But when you identify yourself as something, you become that thing. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you declare yourself to be something or to not be something, you will have a much easier time reminding yourself or even convincing yourself who you are. And Mufasa won't have to come out of the clouds to remind you to remember who you are. Because you define who you are, and you are confident if you say you are, and you will act confidently if you say you are and you claim it for yourself, even if you don't feel like it right now. Psychologically, if you tell yourself something enough, you'll start to believe it. So make it good and powerful and helpful. So to build your confidence long term, use the evidence you do have from your past successes and build new evidence based off of actions you're doing. Thanks to your new identity you've created for yourself to keep proving that you can keep conquering what you want. And the key is taking action. The more you take action to build your dreams, the bigger your evidence base grows that proves you can keep building successfully. And that builds your confidence in yourself to keep going and keep attaining more success. And when you encounter failure, you prove to yourself that you can keep going no matter what when you choose to keep going anyway. So decide who you want to be, declare that you are that person, and take the actions your best self would take to grow your confidence over time, and it will grow. And you can use those short-term tools for a quick boost of confidence too. Okay, that's all for today. And if you like this episode, will you do me a favor and give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, rate it or subscribe because I would love to keep hanging out with you here or on Instagram at Julie Bethany. And hey, if you're feeling stuck right now and want someone, aka me, to guide you through the exact simple steps of getting unstuck and getting moving on your goal right now to feel happier, I have a free mini course you can watch now and a full-length one if you really love it. And you can find that at juliebethany.com/courses or in the show notes here. And I'll also share some other things you can watch and enjoy after Kippen makes her episodely appearance too. I hope you go today and start to live the life of your dreams as the best, most authentic, truest to you version of yourself you can be. Because when you do that, you show others it's possible for them too. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Okay, say hi. Very good. Okay, treat time. Okay, I'll see you all soon. Bye.